Landry Shamet shot 11 of 12 from 3. Cleveland's defense made 0 adjustments. Both of those numbers belong to the same series. Both of those numbers explain the sweep, 92% from 3, across 4 playoff games, by a bench player Cleveland did not game plan around. The Cavaliers were a top 5 regular season defense. The Knicks bench outscored Cleveland's bench 58-24 across the series. One of those numbers is a hot streak. One of those numbers is a coaching decision. The chalkboard will tell you which is which. New York is in the finals for the first time since 1999. Let's start with what every analyst said when the series ended. Shamet got hot. 11 of 12 is variance. A deep rotation shooter caught fire for 4 games. It happens. Move on. That is the obvious read. On its own terms, it is reasonable. Here is where it falls apart. Shamet did not attempt 12 threes. He attempted 12 threes from one spot, off one action, against one coverage. 3 attempts per game, 4 games in a row, all from the strong side corner. All off the same pick and roll. That is not a sample of 12. That is a sample of one read repeated 12 times. The action is Jalen Brunson coming off a sideball screen with the Cleveland big and deep drop. The on-ball defender trails over the screen. Brunson drives toward the elbow. The strong side corner help defender starts to rotate to the rim. 1 count too early. Brunson kicks. Shamet is open in the corner. Same action, same coverage, same shot. 4 games. The Knicks bench, mostly Shamet, outscored Cleveland's bench 58-24 across the series. A plus 34 bench margin in a conference finals is not a hot night. That is a structural advantage. Cleveland's regular season defense ranked top 5 in the league. Top 5 defenses do not give up 92% from 3 to a deep rotation shooter by accident. They give it up because their coverage menu has a hole. And the offense found it. 11 of 12 from 3. 0 adjustments from Cleveland. Not Shamet getting hot. The actual mechanism is the strong side corner exit off the Brunson pick and roll against drop and late rotate. Watch the chalkboard. The Knicks ran the same action dozens of times across 4 games. It is one of New York's 3 primary half-court reads. Cleveland defended it the same way every single time. Deep drop on the big, trail the screen on the ball. Late rotation on the strong side corner. The hero moment is not a single play. The hero moment is the repetition. New York ran the play. Cleveland defended it badly. New York ran it again. Cleveland defended it badly. 4 games. The shot did not change. The defender did not change. The result did not change. There is a wrinkle the headline numbers bury. Shamet's relocation was the second half lever. When Brunson rejected the screen and drove baseline, Shamet did not stay in the corner. He slid up 2 feet to the wing. He dragged the rotation defender with him, then reset to the corner on the kickout. The same play looked like 2 different reads on tape. Cleveland's late rotation was always solving the wrong puzzle. Across the first 3 games, Shamet went 7 of 8 from 3. In Game 4, the closeout in Cleveland, he went 4 of 4. The chalkboard refused to blink. The chalkboard always wins when one side stops writing on it. Game 4, May 25th. Cleveland's home floor. Elimination game. Landry Shamet plays 19 minutes off the bench. He scores 16 points. He goes 4 of 4 from 3. That is a starters per minute scoring rate from a deep rotation bench shooter in an elimination game on the road against a top 5 regular season defense with 3 full games of film. Now look at what Cleveland did with that film. In the closeout, the Cavaliers were still in drop and late rotate on the Brunson-Shamet action. No late series scheme pivot. No switch on the screen. No top lock on the strong side corner. No hard hedge. The same coverage they ran in Game 1. Here is the head-to-head. Across the first 3 games, Shamet made 7 of 8 from 3. In Game 4 alone, he made 4 of 4. His three-point percentage went from 87.5 to 100. The hottest shot of the series came after Cleveland had 3 games of evidence and a season-saving urgency. The coverage stayed the same. The shooter stayed the same. The number went up. The Cavaliers had every reason to game plan around Shamet for the closeout. They had 3 games of evidence. They had elimination stakes. They had a top 5 defense's full toolbox. They chose to keep their drop scheme intact. The cost of dismantling it for one bench player, they decided, exceeded what one bench player could do. That estimate was wrong by 16 points across 19 minutes of basketball. 11 of 12 from 3 is the line. The line is structural, not statistical. New York ran one action, Cleveland defended it one way, the shooter stood in one spot. 4 games, 0 adjustments. The Steelman sounds like this. 12 attempts is a small sample. 92% from a deep rotation shooter is variance, not scheme. Cleveland's top 5 defense made the correct call. Protect the rim against Brunson. Seed the lowest leverage shot on the floor. Live with the math. Shamet would have regressed in a longer series. The Steelman would survive if 12 attempts had been spread across 12 different actions. They were not. They were spread across one action, repeated 4 games in a row, defended the same way every time with the help defender arriving 1 count late on every rotation. Variance does not choose 12 wide-open looks from the same spot off the same trigger against the same coverage. Variance is what shows up when the structure is fair. The structure here was not fair. It was a hole the Cavaliers refused to plug. Cleveland had 3 choices after Game 1. Switch the screen and put a smaller defender on the kickout angle. Up to touch on the pick and roll and force Brunson to give it up before the corner lift. Hard show with the big and live with the 4-on-3 on the backside. They had 72 hours between Game 1 and Game 2. They installed none of them. 48 hours after Game 2, none. After Game 3, none. Down 0-3 in an elimination game on their home floor, none. 11 of 12 from 3 is not what happened. 11 of 12 from 3 is what was allowed to happen. 3 structural variables, not 3 court zones, 3 coaching levers. Variable 1, the strong side corner exit, New York's primary read off the Brunson pick and roll, same action 4 games. Variable 2, the drop and late rotate, Cleveland's coverage call, same call 4 games. Variable 3, 0 adjustments, the Cavaliers' coaching decision, same decision 4 games. 1 offense's read plus 1 defense's coverage plus 1 coaching choice equals 1 number on the box score. 11 of 12. The Knicks are in the finals for the first time since 1999. A bench shooter named Landry Shamet is the cleanest reason why. He shot 92% from 3 across 4 playoff games because Cleveland never made him take a different shot. That is not a hot streak. That is what happens when one team keeps writing on the chalkboard and the other team keeps reading it. The Western Conference Finals are still going. The team that comes out of that series gets the chalkboard in front of them. They get film of the action that buried Cleveland. They get 2 weeks to draw a counter. The question is not whether they can erase the strong side corner exit. The question is whether they will. The answer to that question is the finals. Next episode of Chalk Tactics, the Western Conference winner takes the chalkboard.